What is going on, guys? Papa C back from another video for you guys. Today I'm bringing you my Pendulum Magician deck for the current format. I know it's been a while since I've made like an actual Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG video, not a Duel Links video. I think it's been about a year since I made a video. I think that when I made it then, it was when I first started playing the TCG again, after like a 6 or 7 year hiatus or so. But this is my Pendulum Magician deck. I've been playing this deck for about 2 months now, almost. And I've been doing pretty well at my locals and stuff like that. And I want to show you my deck profile because it is going to change a lot, and I figured let's just show it now before Nibiru comes out and the format changes a lot. And I'll talk about the changes I plan on making as we go through it. Also, leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you are new. I definitely want to upload more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content on this channel. If you guys like this, I can do more. I still have the Mermail deck, so you guys know I love Mermails, and I have some ideas I want to show. But anyway, so here's my Pendulum Magician deck. I'm not going to go terribly in-depth because it's pretty standard, but I have the 1 Endymion and the 3 Servants. This is like the best card. Honestly, like I see some people that don't play this card, and I just feel like it's kind of needed because it just gets you that extra guaranteed negate. And I feel like there's so many times where like if you just have this in your opening hand or just have a way to get to it, just makes your board so much better. And if you don't have it, you could maybe still put up 3 or 4 negates, but this thing allows you to put up like 5 or 6 negates. Also, I am playing Romulus in this, which is a bit different. You don't see that a lot, and this can like if you have this and the basic stuff with this, and then you have the Guardragon stuff, you go to Romulus and potentially get 6 negates, which I know is overkill, but it just allows you to get an extra negate with Romulus, which is why I decided to play it. I might end up cutting it, but I think it's something cool to show you guys. Next up, we have the 2 Mythical Beast Jockling. This is what I summon off of Servant most, because this is just a generic monster negate. With Nibiru coming out, if you could summon this before your 5th summon, which is actually pretty easy, you could actually just play this, and then they can't use Nibiru because this would negate it, which is really nice. They could potentially just bait out the Nibiru, but I feel like with the Nibiru coming out, you kind of have to play Crystal Wing over Red Hot Dragon Arching, but I'll get to that later. Triple Harmonizing, some people play 2, and I think that's fine. I just like 3 because I feel like this card just allows you to do so much. My locals is really Orcust heavy, and this card just goes right into Dweller, which is really easy. You can go into your Savage Dragon. Also, I do play the Odd Eyes rank 7, whatever it's called, Absolute Dragon, I think. And you need that for the combo with Romulus, and this just brings out any level 7 Magician, and then you can just, combo off from there, which is really nice. I played 2 Purple Poison and 1 Black Fang. The Magicians, like, they're fine, like, the regular Magicians that aren't harmonizing. Honestly, like, the main reason I'm playing 2 of this is because I need another low scale. That was a level 4, and that's Purple Poison. Because I have so many more high scales in this deck versus low scales, and I am playing Desires, so I figured, like, I want to have at least 3 level 4 Magicians and that aren't harmonizing, because harmonizing can't get itself. So, yeah, there's that. Then I have the 1 Dragon Pit, 1 Oath Dragon. I like Dragon Pit a lot because you can out Mystic Mine. Also, again, like this can be pretty much any level 7 Magician for this combo because you can play Dragon Caller, which I actually might end up playing Dragon Caller with the new format, with the new cards coming out. But this card's really nice because you can pop Mystic Mine, you can pop Back Rows, a high scale level 7. It just fits everything that I needed, and that's why I'm playing it. Oath Dragon, I actually really like Oath Dragon. I see, people cutting it a lot. And I feel like it's just so good because you can add a Magician back, and if you play the Romulus build, you play Dragon Ravine and Tempest, and sometimes you need that for the extra discard. This could be a Dragon Caller again. You could just cut this and play Dragon Caller if you really feel like it. Honestly, going forward again, that might be the better play. But I do think Oath Dragon, just that guaranteed +1 is just really good, especially like getting it off of Pen Call, because I would always search this off of Pen Call and Harmonizing, or this in Black Fang if I needed any other high scale, and it was just so good. Or this in Dragon Pit if I needed the high scale that badly, and I banished my Black Fang and used it or whatever. And then the last Magician, 1 Time Gazer followed by the 3 Chronograph. This is really good. That's not much else to say about that. And there's some times too where like you could leave Time Gazer on board. Like if you don't Pen Call, you could leave Time Gazer on board and then they can't pop your scales. There was a situation where I had Time Gazer on board and I used Oath Dragon's effect and my opponent tried to Ogre, but I had Time Gazer and it protected it, which is really nice. I think Time Gazer is not a terrible card. Then I have the Dragon stuff. 3 Dark Worm, 1 Gate 0. Some people play 2 of this because it's, it's the +1, and if you play Desires, you banish it, kind of sucks. I just play the 1, though, because I wanted to just play as many good cards as possible. I'm not saying this is a bad card, but I feel like if you draw this, there's not that much you could do with it. It isn't bad because you could pen summon it, and I do play Absolute this build, so this, I wouldn't consider this as much of a brick as other Pendulum builds, because, again, I do play the rank 7s, so it's really not that bad. And then next up, I'm only playing 1 Curtain Raiser, because I only have 1. Like, I could not find any. Nobody had them in my locals, and I guess I could just order them online. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty stubborn when it comes to ordering cards. I just much prefer to get them at locals. and so I'm playing one. Honestly, though, like I don't even know what else I would cut to play multiples, but it's a great card. Also, it's a scale 7, which really isn't bad. There are times where you have to scale this and just use it to pen summon. Obviously not as good as an 8, but it does come up. Also, being 2200 has come up a couple times, because if you summon it, it's the only monster on the board, it's 2200. And I attacked over like a Shizuku or something with that, which was kind of funny. Then I play the one Destrudo, because, you know, you kind of have to play it, as well as the one Tempest, which is such a fun card to play. Tempest is so good because it's a level 7, it's another easy monster to get on board. You could even use it and discard a win, because you play a couple of wins and search for something, which is kind of funny. I've never done that, but you could. And it's needed for the Romulus combo, because I'll explain it later, but you need a Tempest basically, and it's so good. If you guys know the Dragudity combo, it's basically the same principle, just applied in Pendulum. We play the one Ravine because you need it for Romulus, searches off Romulus. Also, if you draw it, it's not bad, because it's essentially just a worse Dragon Shrine. And there have been times where I opened with this and just activated it and it was fine. It's also really good because if you have to, if you draw your Mythical Beast Cerberus, let's say, and this is in your deck with Romulus, and you pen summon the Cerberus, you have no counters, you would search this with Romulus, activate, and then get the counters, which is kind of nice. That has actually happened, because if you don't get Servant, that's kind of what you have to do. And then I play, speaking of Servant, the card that searches for Servant. This card is really good. You basically play 6 Servants in the deck. Like, Servant makes the deck so much better. You could, like, the deck could still function without it, sure, but Servant just adds so much, and it pretty much guarantees you're going to get at least one more negate, because this is going to summon the big Endymion or summon the Cerberus, which is really, really nice. Then I play 2 Pen Call, 1 Duel. I was playing 2 Duelist Alliance, actually. I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, I wasn't playing 2. I made a last-minute change. And I was playing 2 and 2, but I cut it for Desires because I wasn't playing Desires, and I realized, you know what, I should probably be playing Desires. For a while, I wasn't playing Desires because with this particular build, like if you banish Tempest, if you banish Destrudo, if you banish the level 7 Magician that you play, you can't go for the super busted combo. Then I kind of realized you don't really need to put up 6 negates all the time. Like if you put up, 4, even 3 sometimes, you could just still win the game. So I figured I'm gonna put Desires back in because, okay, I might banish combo pieces, but if this is the difference between having a board of 1 or 2 negates versus a board of 3 or 4 negates, I'll play it. Like it's whatever. I think this is really good. Pen Call is an amazing card. It gets Ashlock though, you gotta be really careful. But if you Pen Call Darkworm, it's not as bad because you can just bring up the Darkworm, and then Duelist Alliance just to search it. There's also the reason why I play 1 Duelist Alliance instead of just 3 Pen Call is because this is another spell. So if you have Servant, you could just play this, then this, and get 2 spells basically, which is pretty nice. And then I play 2 Shrine and 1 Foolish. Pretty typical. You could play 3 Shrine. I've seen people play it. It's not bad, especially play Desires. You just want Darkworm engrave. There have been times too where you use this to send Destrudo, or you use this to send Tempest even. It's it's just a good card. It's another spell. It's easy to activate too if you need another counter on Servant. And then I play double Allure and the 1 Observe. I really like Allure in this deck because there's so many darks and it's just an easy draw 2, banish a dark. Because like, for example, like if you draw, let's say you draw one of the Pearl Poisons, it's fine banishing it. Let's say you draw, multiple Harmonizing, you banish it. If I draw a Jackal King, I'm always banishing it off Desires because I have another one in deck that I can just get off a Servant. And even the big Endymion, like honestly, for me, like I don't really use the big Endymion for its effect that much unless I'm playing in Sky Strikers. It's pretty much just a level 7 on a scale for me and an Allure banish. Which, it's not a bad card, but I just feel like there's other cards I would rather send out in this particular deck. So next up we have the extra deck, which is a little bit different than a standard Pendulum deck, but 1 Electromite, obviously, 1 generic Blink 2 in Lambda, as there's a bit of a glare, I do apologize. Guardragons, LP, Anger Pain, Heretic Seal, Triple Burst, and Hot Red. And I guess this is all like the dragon package, so to say. So I'm playing Hot Red again because I am playing the Odd Eyes Absolute, which will get me into the Vortex Dragon, which gives me an extra negate. I feel like Odd Eyes Absolute is a really good card because there have been times where like I could make a board of 3 negates, but if I'm not playing this card, but if I'm playing this card, I could make 4. And I just feel like that was kind of worth it. So yeah, I'm not playing Saryuja because I don't have room. Saryuja is actually really, really good if you can fit it, excuse me. And I am not playing Pitsy. I've seen some people try to play Pitsy. I don't really understand how it works in this deck. I guess you could summon something from the graveyard. It doesn't have to be banished. But I just don't see Pitsy as being as strong as it is in other decks. And then we have Romulus. So basically, I'll explain the combo at the end, I guess. But you need Romulus in your extra deck, and you need Absolute as well. Then we have Absolute and Vortex Dragon, obviously. Savage Dragon and Dragster. I really like Dragster. Actually, it's pretty easy to go to because of Destrudo. And against a lot of decks now, because a lot of decks play spells. Like, the only deck that really doesn't rely on spells right now is going to be pretty much like Danger Thunder with Sekkas. Although a lot of people are opting to not play Sekkas anymore. They're playing the Lures and other spell cards. So, you know, against Striker, this is great. Against Pendulum, this is great. And it's honestly one of my favorite cards in the extra deck. Also playing Tornado Dragon over Phoenix. I like this card because you can destroy 2 Speller Traps versus the one with Phoenix. Because if you summon Phoenix, you still use 2 monsters. It's easier to summon, sure, but you gotta discard a card, destroy 1. While this requires 2 monster summon as well, no discard, and can destroy 2 cards. There have been times, sure, where, you know, I can't summon this, but I can summon a Phoenix, but I just feel like this is better. And there's some matchups, again, like game 2 and 3. Typically what you want to do is you want to go into Savage Dragon, but let's say you know you're playing against like Mystic Mine or something that you want to destroy back row. You can go into this or go into Dweller transversely. Dweller's great against Orcus, that's why I play it. And then last one, Borreload. I don't have Boreal Sword. I just really like Borreload. It's just a really get out of jail free card, to be honest, because you just summon it and you can just get out of a lot of situations. You can also summon it off of Agripane if you really need to. I've never done that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'll show you guys the combo, sort of. It's not like a specific 2-card combo or anything, but if you know the basic Pendulum combo, then I'll explain to you how it works. Alright, so the camera angle is a bit awkward. I don't really know a better way to set this up, but imagine this is... Okay, so if you can get to this board with Pendulum, which is pretty easy. Basically, scale 2, scale 8, so you can do a full Pendulum summon. Jackal King under the other extra monster zone, and Electromite. So what you want to do basically is you need Harmonizing in hand as well. It might sound like this is a really hard combo to pull off because there's a lot of setup, but the way this deck works is there's so many different ways to get to it, and you know, once you practice this combo, do it on your own, you could pretty much figure it out. So what you want to do is once you get to this state, which is, you know, if you play Pendulum, you know how to get to the state. You want to have your Gate 0 and your Dark Worm in your extra deck because you use Servant and Dark Worm to go into Electromite, and then you pop the Gate 0 to add anything you need. If you needed the Harmonize, you could add that, and then add it back with Oath Dragon. And you need at least 1 card in hand, which does, again, sound like a lot, but it's really not that bad. So you want to pen summon here. You put the Dark Worm, you put the Gate 0, and then you summon out the Harmonizing. Harmonizing effect's going to activate, and you're going to summon out your Dragon Pit Magician. Dragon Pit and the other level 7 is going to go into the Odd Eyes. Now, again, like, if you have, like, a really weird hand and you draw to the Endymion or Tempest even, you could just pen summon that and go into the rank 7 that way, which is fine. We're going to go into the LP, and then we are going to take the Electromite, goes to the graveyard, and we're going to take the Harmonizing, and we are going to go into Triple Burst. We're going to activate LP's effect. Of course, we're going to summon... You can summon Destrudo or Tempest. I like to summon Destrudo more because if something bad happens, I'd rather have Destrudo engraved than Tempest in most situations. And then now here's where the things get a little bit different. So what you're going to do here is you're going to go Triple Burst and Absolute. You're going to link these two into Romulus. And then you're going to do Chainlink 2 is going to be the Absolute. Chainlink 1 is going to be the Romulus to search. So you're going to get the summon of the Vortex Dragon first. The reason why you do that is because if you don't have Jockling to negate a hand trap, you would have this first to negate the hand trap, and then Romulus will guarantee get the Dragon Ravine. Honestly, I don't think many people would even bother ashing the Romulus because it's not terribly impactful because you're still going to put... Like, basically, if they waste 1 card to get rid of Dragon Ravine, that's 1 less negate you have, but they wasted a card. So it doesn't really matter. So you get the Dragon Ravine. You're going to activate it, so, you know, again, if you didn't get Servant, then you're going to have the counters on Jockling from that, which is kind of nice. And then from here, you're going to take the Destrudo, and you're going to take the Romulus. You're going to go out into your Guardragon Agripane. Agripane effects can activate. You're going to summon your Hot Red or your Crystal Wing if you play Crystal Wing. With Nibiru coming out, Crystal Wing might be the better play because Hot Red only negates face-up cards on the field, while Crystal Wing can negate the Nibiru and stuff like that because it's any monster effect. This is arguably better in the sense that you can negate spell and traps, but again, you know, getting rid of Nibiru is really, really good. And then here you're going to go into Agripane and LP, and you are going to summon out the Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. Then what you're going to do, since you have Jockling on board, you're going to use Destrudo's effect, make it level 1. You're going to use Tempest effects, and you're going to... Actually, wait, no. You're going to use your Ravine's effect first to discard any card in your hand. Doesn't matter, to send the Tempest. Then you're going to use the Tempest effect, banish any 2 dragons. I like to banish LP and Absolute, because Absolute is the most attack, and LP, like, if my opponent reborns it, they can put it in any zone, and that could be problematic for playing dragons, I guess. So it doesn't really matter what you banish, as long as you don't banish Triple Burst, because you want to use Triple Burst to go into your... your Borreload Savage Dragon, and then attach the Triple Burst. Now, this particular... Where's my Borreload? There it is. Now, this particular board is only going to get you... It's going to get you 5 negates, which is pretty good. Now, if you want to do the 6 negate route, what you can do is basically, like... if you're in a situation where instead of scaling Black Fang, you could scale the big Endymion, you could scale this here, and then if you have other spells, Jap King will get more counters, and you could just summon this out. And that's 6 negates. Again, you don't need 6 negates. 5 is plenty. Even 4 in most situations should get you there. But I just like doing this because, sure, this is overkill, but playing the Romulus, like, let's say I wasn't able to get the Jap King out, right? This would have been a Dragster instead, which isn't as bad, and I would still have 4 negates. So, you know, it's not, including this as a negate. I know it's not really a negate, but you know what I mean. So, that's pretty much the combo. I like it. Again, I mean, I am cutting it. Because I feel like with Nibiru, it's probably not going to be as safe to go for unless you get the Servant. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll do some more testing. I'll show you guys some cards that I do plan on playing, though. So they don't all come in the mail yet, but basically some of the cards I'm considering playing is the Ignister. Ignister, you can do a lot of combos even going first, and it's really, really nice. And then, of course, you know, the 2 monsters for Ignister, this to Synchro to Ignister, this to summon off Ignister. That's the only reason why you play it. Also, it's a low scale. It's not bad. It's a 3. You know, it's not terrible if you draw it. And they're dragons, and then speaking of dragons, 1 Dragon Caller as well. I do also plan on potentially playing the Aether. My Aether hasn't come in yet. Because you could summon Aether off of Pyrotic Seal and the Banish card, which is kind of cool. Or transversely, you just pen summon it on your turn if you draw it and banish something. Could play Goliath as well, or Sloth, whichever one's better. Dragon Caller, like, I don't know if I would play this card. Like, if I do plan on cutting Romulus and that whole, like, super hardcore Dragon Engine, I guess I could play it, because this is still a level 7, which would give me a second level 7 sum off of Harmonizing, which is kind of nice. And it's a low scale, and it can get me there with the the Dragon combo if I really need it. So, I don't know. Either way, that's my deck. I've been doing pretty well with it. I like it a lot. Pendulums are fun. I do still like Mermails, though. I will probably be doing a Mermail deck profile in the future. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you all next time, and bye-bye.